High in the Himalayas, where the land rises sharply and the air thins with every step, traditions are shaped less by choice and more by geography. Life here follows the mountains. Paths bend around cliffs. Seasons decide movement. Communities adapt to what the land allows. Mad honey traditions did not appear by accident. They grew slowly, shaped by altitude, terrain, access, and the rhythm of village life. The Himalayas are not one single mountain range. They are a layered world of ridges, deep valleys, and vertical walls of rock. Altitude changes everything. In lower elevations, forests are dense and warm. As you climb higher, trees thin out, temperatures drop, and the environment becomes harsher. Giant honeybees, known locally for building exposed cliff hives, choose very specific altitudes. These heights offer safety from predators, steady airflow, and access to seasonal flowering plants. Humans did not decide where mad honey would exist. The bees did, guided by altitude and climate. Terrain plays an equally powerful role. Many Himalayan villages sit on narrow ledges carved into hillsides. Farmland is limited, so people terrace the land, turning steep slopes into steps of soil. Roads are rare or arrive very late. For generations, access to resources meant walking, climbing, and carrying everything by hand. When honey appeared on cliff faces hundreds of feet above the ground, it became part of the landscape people already knew how to navigate. Harvesting honey required understanding rock, rope, wind, and balance. These skills came from living in the mountains, not from chasing danger. The geography also controls when honey can be collected. Himalayan seasons are intense and short. Spring brings bursts of flowering plants that grow only at certain elevations. Summer opens high passes but also brings storms. Autumn closes the mountains again with cold winds and early snow. Mad honey harvesting fits into these narrow windows. Villagers know the right weeks, not because of written calendars, but because they read the land. Flower blooms, bee movement, and weather patterns all signal when it is time. Geography becomes a natural clock. Access is another defining factor. Many villages involved in mad honey traditions are days away from the nearest town. Supplies must be planned carefully. Outside influence arrives slowly. This isolation preserves knowledge. Techniques are passed from elders to younger generations through observation and practice. Rope making, knot tying, and communication signals are learned as part of daily life. In places where geography limits access, traditions remain deeply rooted. Mad honey is not treated as a product first. It is treated as part of the seasonal cycle. Village life reflects this balance. Himalayan communities depend on cooperation. Fields are worked together. Homes are built with shared labor. Honey harvesting follows the same pattern. Roles are assigned based on experience, age, and physical ability. Some prepare equipment. Others manage safety from above. One person may descend the cliff, while many others support from the top. Geography demands teamwork. No one works alone in the mountains. The tradition reinforces social bonds shaped by survival in difficult terrain. The environment also influences respect. The mountains are unpredictable. Landslides, sudden fog, and shifting winds are common. Because of this, Himalayan cultures tend to emphasize patience and caution. Mad honey harvesting is never rushed. If conditions are wrong, people wait. This mindset comes directly from geography. When the land can change in minutes, listening to it becomes a way of life. The tradition is as much about knowing when not to act as when to act. Over time, mad honey becomes woven into local identity. Songs, stories, and rituals reference cliffs, bees, and forests. These cultural expressions are grounded in place. If the geography were different, the tradition would not exist in the same way. Flatland does not teach rope skills. Easy roads do not demand communal planning. Mild climates do not create such narrow seasonal windows. The Himalayas quietly shape every detail. Today, the outside world often looks at mad honey through a simplified lens. But within Himalayan villages, it remains something quieter and deeper. It is a reflection of how humans adapt to extreme landscapes. It shows how environment guides culture without force. The mountains do not ask people to be brave. They ask people to be attentive, cooperative, and patient. Understanding mad honey traditions means understanding the land first. The altitude decides where bees live. The terrain teaches how people move. Access determines how knowledge is preserved. Village life turns survival into shared meaning. In the Himalayas, culture is not built on the land, it is built with the land. Subscribe for in-depth Himalayan documentary stories.